And that's when I copied all of Nathan's essay.
Yeah.
Did you make it look like your own?
Yep.
Oh, names you didn't even know.
Oh, memories. Guys, I just had an idea.
What?
Okay, so the scene opens, a secretary walks into Bismarck's room and he says, "What is it? Can't you see I'm busy, Mark?" No, I don't think that really works.
Oh, no?
Guys, seriously, what are we going to do for this project? I have no idea.
What should we do? We should probably, before we start filming, we should probably know something about Bismarck.
You know what I've realized our problem is? We know absolutely nothing about Bismarck's domestic policy.
That's right.
You're totally right. I know.
I wish I paid attention in class.
I really wish I had actually read this packet.
Yeah.
I don't even know, what is this packet? Start here?
I tried reading, but Kim was just so distracting. Okay, everybody, look at your notes. Let's try and get some ideas about this.
Alright.
Guys, actually, how are we going to put in all this stuff in the culture comp? That packet was so unhelpful. None of it's in chronological order. What are we going to do?
What is the culture comp? Oh, I know what the culture comp is. It's this. Do the culture comp.
She was texting me on Friday, and then I said, "No, that's not it."
I know what the culture comp was, Zach. The culture comp was the...
In 1871, there were elections for a new Reichstag. The National Liberals had the most seats, and the Centre Party, which represented Roman Catholic views in the Prussian Parliament from 1870, had the second most. Bismarck, dedicated to the state and his own power, was paranoid about their power, and wanted people to be loyal to the Reich first and the Pope second, which did not align with the Centre Party. So he created the Culture Kampf to suppress their power. This caused problems when the bishop suspended state-employed ministry for not teaching papal infallibility. The Prussian Catholic ministry was dissolved, and anti-religious legislation increased when the Jesuits were expelled from Germany in 1872. The folk laws were put into place in May of 1873 and limited disciplinary powers of the church. For example, civil marriage became obligatory. These anti-religious laws actually caused the Centre Party to double in voting strength by 1874.
Yeah, I think so. I know why it failed. Because Bismarck didn't intend for the Culture Kampf to be so anti-religious, and it was bad for the Reich. So
then, in 1879, when Pope Pius died, and Leopold XIII became the new pope, he compromised with Bismarck, and the Vatican relations were restored.
Yay! No! Bismarck! Guys! Bath break! If you wanna be my lover, you gotta get with my friends.
All the Ivy girls are gonna be so jealous of me.
the struggles with the Catholics and the Socialists really made the minorities disaffected.
Yeah, but they were disorganized, so the government could suppress them easily.
And the bourgeois weren't interested in practical knowledge or politics, so Bismarck was not able to find new talent and create a thriving political life in Prussia.
The Depression of 1873 to 1879 allowed Bismarck and the bureaucracy to create more state intervention and bypass the Reichstag and political parties with administrative rules and regulations. You guys are looking cute in that bath.
Zach, stop moving your leg.
That's not his leg.
However, advances in historical and natural sciences increased the importance of material achievement, while moral and artistic development suffered. This created a pessimistic world outlook called culture pessimism, which led people to turn to the Volkisch movement, which was the desire to look to the past and simpler ways of life. They targeted uprooted workers and Jews and blaming them for their economic problems. This attracted people who both were a fan of the Middle Ages, rejected modernism, liberalism, and Western democracy, and it attracted social Darwinists.
Is this new shit? Am I scrubbing?
In addition to the Volkisch movement, monism emphasized racial differences and believed that only the Germanic race had value. They stressed community and didn't really believe in individual rights. They supported expansion colonially and a creation of a powerful navy. In the 1870s, conservative publications blamed the Jews for both the Depression and the Kulturkampf. Bismarck used this anti-Semitism as a political scapegoat. It was bad news for the Jews. Yeah.
So does anyone have any ideas for this project?
No.
What were we even trying to achieve with this baths thing anyway?
I don't know.
Which can I see? After the Franco-Prussian War, Bismarck had a policy of moderate liberalism. I was once raped in prison. The $5 billion indemnity from France caused an economic boom, you see. But in 1873, Prussia took a dump on the economy because of over-manipulation of the market, you hear? The only way out seemed to be protective tariffs for everybody, and that good-looking man, Bismarck, he made a military budget to help the economy. The liberals didn't agree, cause the deadlock in Bismarck wasn't pleased. Ladies, my number is 914-246-9472. The army expenditures were fixed for 7 years, but except not created by Bismarck. Liberalism failed from 1875 to 76. Who said the song had to rhyme anyways? Bismarck then shifted to protectionism. Man, I hope I don't have to go back to prison. He gained agrarian support because there was an agricultural depression in 1875. This depression discredited liberalism, and in 1877 there was a conservative majority in the Reichstag. Bismarck was then able to carry out tax reforms and reorganize the Reich using the Conservative Protectionist Alliance, and the period of liberalism was now over.
Here we have a change in political alignment and the anti-socialist crusade. Socialists increased delegates in the Reichstag from 2 voters in the election of 1871 to 12 voters in the election of 1877.
The General German Workers' Movement, established in 1863, and the Social Democratic Labour Party, established in 1869, initially had friction between each other, but they united to form the Social Democratic Labour Party of Germany. Bismarck initially didn't care about this, But when people tried to assassinate the emperor, he blamed the socialists and launches the anti-socialist crusade. Bismarck misjudged the situation by trying to suppress groups with the Culture Kampf and anti-socialist movement at the time. This was unlike him because he usually liked to isolate and take out enemies. Bismarck was afraid that the socialists would use international support to ally with Germany's enemies, and thought it threatened the monarchy and the social makeup of the state. With conservatives, he tried to get the exceptional law passed to outlaw the Socialist Party, but it did not pass. A second attempt on the emperor's life was made, which caused Bismarck to dissolve the Reichstag and hold new elections. This backfired as the socialists gained power.
I guess we should teleport to school or something, I guess. Oh. Now we're at school.
When the exceptional law came in the new Reichstag, conservatives, free conservatives, and national liberals supported it. But the progressives and the center opposed it. The center refused to sanction any repressive bill like the Culture Kampf, which was made to oppress them. The Reichstag passed the anti-socialist law on October 19, 1878. This law allowed the government to abolish societies with communist tendencies, prohibit publications of social democratic newspapers, expel dangerous social leaders, but it did not prohibit members of the Socialist Party from running for office. Once again, Bismarck's attempt to suppress the party caused them to unite and gain strength. During this time, there was also friction between Bismarck and the liberals. The liberals wanted the finance minister to be responsible to the Reichstag. This frightened the conservatives and showed the desire to move toward liberalism. Making the finance minister responsible to the Reichstag could also lead to parliamentary control, which Bismarck did not want. He wanted only pseudo-parliamentary power. There were also tax reform issues between liberals and government. Bismarck wanted to raise indirect taxes on beer and petroleum and implement higher taxes on taverns, which would give the Reich an adequate income. This was a clear indication of Bismarck's intention to reduce the Reichstag's power. Bismarck dissolved the Reichstag when the liberals would not comply. The southern German states expressed reluctance, but were warned that this could mean the declaration of a state of emergency and being forced to comply by the Prussian military. This was the largest confrontation between the North and the South since 1866. The Federal Council voted unanimously in favor of Prussia's proposal. This dissolution of the Reichstag in 1878 marked the end of the liberal era, as Bismarck was attempting to hold onto the ancient Prussian privileges without concessions.
And this led to... Miss Ainsworth, I don't understand. Please explain.
That's good, Jack, but you didn't quite cover everything.
Change the color! It's disgusting! I vomited in my mouth looking at that!
The Reichstag became more conservative, but the Reich still failed to reconcile royal power and parliamentary responsibility. Bismarck continued his crusade against socialism. And what did he do? Anyone? This should have been in your reading last night. Anyone know? Joe? Joe, do you know? No? He destroyed workers' organizations and tried to turn workers from the ideals of Marx and Engels. He bound them to the state with state socialism, including measures like sickness, accident, old age insurance laws, and monopolization of industry and nationalization. If you girls want to talk on your phones, you can go outside and do that, but not in my classroom. Okay? The Social Democratic Party had a problem. If the Social Democratic Party didn't support state legislation, they weren't supporting their goals. But they also were intrinsically against government, so they had to make a decision. Would they support the government that was trying to take away their powers, or would they be egalitarian? In the Reich election of 1884, the Social Democratic Party kept gaining seats, so Bismarck blamed the increasing strikes on the anarchists in the party to create negative public opinions towards them. Then, anti-socialist laws were passed for another 2 years. They forbid strikes, closed party meetings, and arrested Socialist Party officials. Then, the Social Democratic Party brought the defeat of the Septenot. Woo! Did you get that, Lucia? I hope so. Nice job on your most recent essay, by the way. So as you can see, Bismarck could be called a wolf in sheep's clothing.
The date is the 4th, Miss Ainsworth. Did you even go to Georgetown?
Damn it!